Self-improvement and success, hand in hand. Everything that happens to us happens in purpose. And sometimes, one thing leads to another. Instead of locking yourself up in your cage of fears and crying over past heartaches, embarrassment and failures, treat them as your teachers and they will become your tools in both self-improvement and success. Remember watching Patch Adams? It's one great film that will help you improve yourself. Hunter Patch Adams is a medical student who failed to make it through the board exams. After months of suffering in melancholy, depression and suicidal attempts, he decided to seek for medical attention and voluntarily admitted himself in a psychiatric ward. His months of stay in the hospital led him to meeting different kinds of people. Sick people in that matter. He met a catatonic, a mentally retarded, a schizophrenic and so on. Patch found ways of treating his own ailment and finally realized he has to get back on track. He woke up one morning realizing that after all the failure and pains he has gone through, he still wants to become a doctor. He carries with himself a positive attitude that brought him self-improvement and success. He didn't only improve himself, but also the life of the people around him and the quality of life. Did he succeed? Needless to say, he became the best damn doctor his country has ever known. The importance of improving yourself. Sometimes, when all our doubts, fears and insecurities wrap ourselves up, we always come up with the idea of, I wish I was somebody else. More often than not, we think and believe that someone or rather, most people are better than us, when in reality, the fact is, most people are more scared than us. You spot a totally eye-catching girl sitting by herself at a party, casually sipping on a glass of Asti Spumante. You think to yourself, she looks so perfectly calm and confident. But if you could read through her transparent mind, you would see a bunch of clouds of thoughts and you might just be amazed that she's thinking, are people talking about why I am seated here alone? Why don't guys find me attractive? I don't like my ankles, they look too skinny. I wish I was as intelligent as my best friend. We look at a young business entrepreneur and say, woo, what else could he ask for? He stares at himself at the mirror and murmurs to himself, I hate my big eyes. I wonder why my friends won't talk to me. I hope mom and dad would still work things out. Isn't it funny? We look at other people, envy them for looking so outrageously perfect and wish we could trade places with them, while they look at us and thinks of the same thing. We are insecure of other people who themselves are insecure of us. We suffer from low self-esteem, lack of self-confidence and lose hope in self-improvement because we are enveloped in quiet desperation. Sometimes, you notice that you have an irritating habit like biting off your fingernails, having a foul mouth, and you, of all people, is the last to know. I have a friend who never gets tired of talking. And in most conversations, she is the only one who seems to be interested in the things she has to say. So all of our other friends tend to avoid the circles whenever she's around, and she doesn't notices how badly she became socially handicapped, gradually affecting the people in her environment. One key to self-improvement is to listen and talk to a trusted friend. Find someone who you find comfort in opening up with, even the most gentle topics you want to discuss. Ask questions like, do you think I am ill-mannered? Do I always sound so argumentative? Do I talk too loud? Does my breath smell? Do I ever bore you when we're together? In this way, the other person will obviously know that you are interested in the process of self-improvement. One of Whitney Houston's songs says, learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. True enough. In order to love others, you must love yourself too. Remember, you cannot give what you do not have. Before telling other people some ways on how to improve themselves, let them see that you yourself is a representation and a product of self-improvement. Self-improvement makes us better people, we then inspire other people, and then the rest of the world will follow. Stop thinking of yourselves as second-rate beings. Forget the repetitive thought of, if only I was richer, if only I was thinner, and so on. Accepting your true self is the first step to self-improvement. We need to stop comparing ourselves to others only to find out at the end that we've got 10 more reasons to envy them. We all have our insecurities. Nobody is perfect. We always wish we had better things, better features, better body parts, etc. But life need not to be perfect for people to be happy about themselves. Self-improvement and loving yourself is not a matter of shouting to the whole world that you are perfect and you are the best. It's the virtue of acceptance and contentment. When we begin to improve ourselves, we then begin to feel contented and happy. Building your self-esteem. So how do you stay calm, composed and maintain self-esteem in a tough environment? Here are some tips you may to consider as a starter guide to self-improvement. Imagine yourself as a dartboard. Everything and everyone else around you may become dart pins, at one point or another. These dart pins will destroy your self-esteem and pull you down in ways you won't even remember. Don't let them destroy you, or get the best of you. So which dart pins should you avoid? Sometimes, you may want to wonder if some people are born leaders or positive thinkers. No. Being positive, and staying positive is a choice. Building self-esteem and drawing lines for self-improvement is a choice, not a rule or a talent. God wouldn't come down from heaven and tell you, George, you may now have the permission to build self-esteem and improve yourself. To grow spiritually is to develop your potentials. Religion and science have differing views on matters of the human spirit. Religion views people as spiritual beings temporarily living on earth, while science views the spirit as just one dimension of an individual. Mastery of the self is a recurring theme in both Christian, Western, and Islamic, Eastern teachings. The needs of the body are recognized but placed under the needs of the spirit. Beliefs, values, morality, rules, experiences, and good works provide the blueprint to ensure the growth of the spiritual being. In psychology, realizing one's full potential is to self-actualize. Motivation, the heart of self-improvement. Pain may sometimes be the reason why people change. Getting flunked grades make us realize that we need to study. Debts remind us of our inability to look for a source of income. Being humiliated gives us the push to speak up and fight for ourselves to save our face from the next embarrassments. It may be a bitter experience, a friend's tragic story, a great movie, or an inspiring book that will help us get up and get just the right amount of motivation we need in order to improve ourselves. Unlocking your self-improvement power. When we look at a certain object, a painting for example, we won't be able to appreciate what's in it, what is painted and what else goes with it if the painting is just an inch away from our face. But if we try to take it a little further, we'll have a clearer vision of the whole artwork. We reach a point in our life when we are ready for change and a whole bunch of information that will help us unlock our self-improvement power. Until then, something can be staring us right under our nose but we don't see it. The only time we think of unlocking our self-improvement power is when everything got worst. Click the link below and subscribe to our channel so we can bring more video to people in needed. Thank for precious time for watching this small effort from us. Always be blessed. Peace.